Hi guys, Murph here for another one of the GT Sport Daily C races. This is the one from last week where I took the Group 2 cars, or basically the Super GT GT500 cars around Fuji. I'm in the Lexus LC500 GT500 car, as driven by my fellow countryman Nick Cassidy. Anyway, we'll dive off into turn 1. Now this was carnage all week, but this one was pretty alright, pretty clean. I dive up the inside, lock a brake and just about run into the other guy. But as you can see up ahead, there's absolute chaos going on. One guy gets on the curb and spins to the inside, another one gets completely turned. As you can see, the guy's got a 7-second penalty, although I feel like that should be more like a 15-second penalty when you look at the map and see where the guy is. He's only just getting going now, so yeah, that was a pretty nasty one. Now we'll jump forward to the end of the lap. As you can see, the guy who's got the penalty, who had the 7-second penalty, now has a 12-second penalty. He decided to punt someone else off the track. Just one of those things. I think he just outbroke himself. So that's another easy position. We'll move our way up into 9th as we clear that GTR. Getting the slipstream of Big Arrow. Now, remember that name. I seem to have battled him most of this race. But anyway, we will dive into turn 1. We'll try and go around the outside of him, but it's not going to quite work. Run a wee bit wide. Bit of contact with the guy on the inside. He half turns me. I managed to save it. A bit of contact help. And we still managed to make up a position to gain it back. The blue GTR will run wide, so I'll get a run on him. I'll get to this outside. I'll just about clear him. It gives me a wee touch. So I decide to get all hip and shoulder on him, give a bit of a push, and then I'll give him a little bump and run in frustration. Just let off the brake and roll into the corner. Gave me a 4-second bloody penalty. So after he gave me a bit too much hip and shoulder, I gave him a bit of retaliation. It gives me a 4-second penalty. Hardly cricket, that one. Now as you'll see, he'll absolutely dive bomb with no chance of pulling it up into the chicane. So I'll get back by him. Now in this race you have to use the hard tyre at some point. Now, the hard tyre is a couple of seconds a lap slower at the initial start of the run, although the medium after about 6 or 7 laps gets to about the same pace. So general conventional strategy is you start on the medium and finish on the hard, or start on the hard and finish on the medium. But right now I'm thinking I'm going to lose so much time down the straight, so much track position. I thought, you know what, I'm going to drop to 14th or 15th anyway. I might as well dive in, use the lack of momentum down the straight, because this pit stop's only going to cost me 4 or 5 seconds instead of 6 or 7. I'll dive in, change my strategy to a 2-stopper, 2 stints on the mediums, 1 short one on the hards, only 2 laps, and we'll see how we can go. Now we drop down to 16th at the start of the lap. Now we'll skip forward to halfway through the lap into the chicane. You'll see a car spin off to the right. You'll already have a penalty, and he'll just exit out and give up. You know, see another car spin off to the left. He'll get a bit loose. He'll overcorrect and crash into the wall. So that's a couple of positions gained. Now realistically, I'm now in the position I would have been in had I stayed out instead of pitted. So I don't think I've lost too much time. I may have been a couple more seconds up the road past these guys as I get the run on one of them. But yeah, it would have been a couple more seconds up the road at most, so I've realistically probably made the right decision to pit and get on the better tyre. So we've got to get into a couple of positions due to penalty and a better run onto the straight. Now we'll have a dive bomb on this guy. I'm backing the fact that I've got fresher tyres to get up the inside. I dived from a long way back. He gave me space. He tries for the cutback, but I'm still getting the power down with the fresh tyres a lot better. We'll jump forward to the end of the lap as I'm catching a fellow countryman there. And it's a bad entrance to the corner, so I'm right on his tail. Now I'm going to make a wee dive up the inside here. It's not a traditional passing spot, but we'll back the fact that I've got fresher tyres and we'll try and make it work. Bit of contact on the exit. I was a bit nervous I was getting a penalty there, which I don't, luckily. The silly GT Sport penalties sometimes punishes good hard racing, and I figure that's good hard racing. So we'll gain a spot with the guy getting punted off to the left. We'll gain a spot because this guy has got a penalty, although the penalty won't happen till the following lap. So realistically I really want to clear this guy, because I've got pace, I've still got a chance at the top 5, need to get by this guy, use the draft and easily slingshot by him, or even outbrake him into turn 1 and carry the momentum through the corner and disappear off into the sunset. Now we'll jump forward to the beginning of lap 8. I'm starting to catch that big arrow, remember that guy who I've been battling a bit. Now we'll get this interesting exchange going into turn 1. The guy leaving the pits on new hards, he ends up getting the track position, but he spins the rear tyres up and I end up still getting the position. So this up to P5. Now back to the chicane on the same lap, we're catching Big Arrow. He runs a bit wide going into the chicane, so I get right on his tail and I'll have that lunge up the inside of that corner. And he doesn't see me. We have a little bit of contact, nothing too major, but again I was getting a bit nervous about a penalty. Now right here I really question whether it was worth going for that dive. Even though I got away with it, it was just a bit risky considering I'm pitting this lap. As it turns out, he's going to dive into the pits also, so it was certainly worth grabbing that track position while I could. So that's me up to P4 for the time being. We'll take the aggressive entry into the pits. Now do a quick stop, get back out, lose about 6 seconds to the guys ahead, 6 or 7 seconds. But the best part, we all still come out in P4. So we'll jump forward a couple of laps. I haven't made the ground I was hoping. I've only made like a second a lap, second and a half. I was hoping to get to 2 to 3 seconds. So by now I was starting to give up on the looks of getting a podium, the chances of getting a podium. But then I saw a yellow flag and realised third place has spun out. And this gap, by the time we get to the final straight, will be under 3 seconds. So I'm pretty confident now that I can attack this guy and get third position. Now the leader's a bit too far away, so I've really put that in the back of my head. Unless they screw up, I won't get the position. It's all focused on getting third now. Now he's got to slow down, which will mean by the time we get to the end of the straight, get to the hairpin, I will be right on his tail. He'll go defensive, and then I'll pull what I'd call one of the best passes I'll make in 2020. Very Daniel Ricciardo-esque pass. So he's gone defensive. I'll move over to the left. Once I see him starting to move over to the left as well, I'll dive back to the right, dive to the inside. He goes to cover, but it's too late. I've gained the position. He tries to get the cut back, but I do a good old-fashioned block pass. I stop it on the middle, on the apex, to make sure he can't get a run, and I get the job done. So after a pass that good, I feel like it deserves a replay. Now, the biggest thing to look out for, you watch how many times he moves in the braking zone. He goes defensive, he goes to move to the racing line, and he goes to cover again. By that stage I'd already got up the inside. Now he messaged me after the race complaining about me being overly aggressive and a dirty driver. As far as I'm concerned, as soon as you start making multiple movements heading into the braking zone, multiple movements while defending, you leave yourself open to people having a dive bomb or being a lot more aggressive. And personally for me, that was just a very Daniel Ricciardo-esque kind of fake the guy one way, dive in the other. But anyway, feel free to leave a comment what you think of the pass, whether you think it was dirty or overly aggressive, whether you think it was just good, hard racing. Now we'll skip towards the final few corners. I did start catching the guy in second place, but I ran out of time. I got down from 10 seconds to 2 in about 3 laps, so I think he was on the hard tyres, I was still on the soft, still doing 1 minute 32s, whereas he was doing 1 minute 34s and 5s. As it turns out, I think he was on the mediums, because he ends up getting a 20-second penalty for never using the hard tyres. So that's P2 for me. If someone doesn't want to play to the rules, I will take the win. Now I needed probably another 2 or 3 laps, and I probably would have got to first as well, but hey, it's a 13 lap race, not a 15 lap race, so I can't really complain about that. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that race. Feel free to leave a comment, especially about that pass. I'd love to hear your guys' opinions on it. Definitely also hit the old like and subscribe button. I very much appreciate it when you do. And thanks for watching. We'll catch you for the next one. Have a good one. Ciao.